The docking bay of Station Omega-7 reeked of burnt plasma and desperation. Elias Ward pushed his cleaning cart through the debris field, his worn jumpsuit stained with a decade's worth of spills that no amount of scrubbing could erase. He was invisible here, just another human janitor in a galaxy that had long since moved past his species' relevance. That's when he heard it. A rasping breath, barely audible over the hum of the station's life support systems. Behind a stack of discarded cargo containers, he found her. She was massive even in her broken state. Nearly 8 feet of scaled magnificence crumpled against the cold metal floor. Her wings, once presumably majestic, lay twisted at unnatural angles. Iridescent scales that shifted between crimson and gold covered her body, though many were cracked or missing entirely. Her reptilian face, elegant despite the pain etched into every feature, turned toward him with eyes that burned like dying stars. "Please," she whispered in flawless galactic common, her voice carrying harmonics that made Elias's chest vibrate. "Leave me. I don't wish to be seen like this." Elias had spent 43 years being told what he couldn't do, where he couldn't go, what he wasn't worthy of. He'd learned to keep his head down, to accept his place in the cosmic hierarchy. Humans were primitives, too emotional, too short-lived, too soft to matter among the Velikic races that commanded the stars. But something in those dying eyes spoke to something in him that had never quite been extinguished. "Not a chance," he said, already assessing her injuries with the practical eye of someone who'd patched himself up more times than he could count. "Can you move at all?" "My spine," she gasped. "Shattered. I am paralyzed from the neck down. I cannot even summon the flame to end myself with honor." Elias didn't ask who had done this to her. In a place like Omega-7, questions led to trouble, and trouble led to an early grave. Instead, he did what humans did best. He improvised. Over the next 3 days, Elias transformed a forgotten maintenance closet into a makeshift hospital room. He stole medical supplies, bartered his meager salary for pain suppressors, and used every trick he'd learned from raising 4 younger siblings in Earth's slums. The dragon woman, she'd told him her name was Vaelrith, watched him with a mixture of confusion and something that might have been wonder. "Why?" she asked on the second night, as he carefully adjusted the makeshift brace supporting her neck. "You don't know me. You owe me nothing. In this galaxy, humans are, forgive me, considered expendable." Elias smiled grimly. "Yeah, well, maybe that's exactly why I'm doing this. Someone's got to prove we're more than that." He'd said it flippantly, but Vaelrith's eyes widened with an emotion he couldn't identify. On the 4th day, they came. Elias was bringing Vaelrith water when the maintenance closet door exploded inward. 3 Krillian shock troops stormed in, their chitinous armor gleaming, plasma rifles raised. Behind them strode a being that made Elias's blood freeze. A void wraith, its shadowy form barely contained within the boundaries of physical space. "The Empress," the wraith hissed, its voice like nails on a coffin. We had heard rumors she survived the assassination. How disappointing that the mighty Vaelrith, Empress of Flame, she who burned the 12 systems, has been reduced to hiding in filth with a human. The world stopped. Empress of Flame, the 12 systems. Elias knew those names. Every being in the galaxy knew those names. 20 years ago, Vaelrith had commanded the largest empire in known space. Her fleets had been unstoppable, her wrath legendary. She had unified 300 species under her rule, not through cruelty but through strength tempered with justice. Then she'd vanished after the Treaty of Crimson Ash, her empire fragmenting into the chaos that now plagued the galaxy. "You're—" Elias breathed, looking down at the broken woman he'd been feeding soup to for 3 days. "I'm sorry," Vaelrith whispered. "I should have told you. But I couldn't bear for you to see me as they do, as powerful, as feared. With you, I was just someone who needed help." The void wraith laughed. "How touching. Kill them both." What happened next would be debated in historical archives for generations. Elias Ward, 43-year-old janitor, picked up the only weapon he had, his industrial cleaning sprayer, still loaded with highly corrosive degreaser and charged. The Krillians, expecting no resistance from a human, hesitated for a fatal half-second. Elias doused the first one's optical sensors, sending it stumbling into its companion. He grabbed a Krillian rifle, having no idea how to use it, and pulled what looked like a trigger. The blast went wide, but it struck the stack of plasma containers he'd been meaning to report as a safety hazard. The explosion tore through the maintenance level, collapsing corridors and sending the void wraith screaming back into whatever dimension it had crawled from. When the smoke cleared, Elias lay on top of Veilrith's body, his back scorched but his makeshift brace protecting her from the debris. "You fool," she wept, her paralyzed body unable to even hold him. "You beautiful, stupid fool. You don't save empresses. You don't throw away your life for someone like me." "Someone like you?" Elias coughed, grinning through the pain. "You mean someone who needed help? Lady, I don't care if you're an empress or a dock worker. Nobody deserves to die alone in the dark." It took 6 hours for Veilrith's loyal agents, alerted by the explosion, to arrive. By then, the entire station knew what had happened. A human janitor had stood against the assassins who'd paralyzed the greatest empress in galactic history. The medical team that stabilized Veilrith's spine used technology that could have bought Earth 3 times over. As they carried her to the ship, she locked eyes with Elias one final time. "Humans," she said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "are not expendable. They are not soft. They are not primitives." This one man showed more courage, more honor, more humanity than empires show in lifetimes. Remember his name? Elias Ward. The janitor who saved an empress and reminded us all what true strength means. Elias never cleaned another floor. But he never forgot the lesson either. That sometimes the galaxy doesn't need more empresses. Sometimes it just needs more people willing to help, no matter the cost. And sometimes that's the most powerful force in the universe.